Motivation comes and goes like a fleeting burst of excitement. But discipline? That's like water steadily carving through stone, silent, persistent, and unstoppable. Hello. Today, I'm going to share with you what might be one of the most important realizations of your life: motivation or discipline. How many times have you told yourself, "This time, I'm finally going to take action"? And how many times did you actually follow through? Motivational speeches, inspiring videos, uplifting quotes. They all gave you that temporary spark, but then what? Everything went back to the way it was, didn't it? Because real change doesn't rely on fleeting emotions. It requires a consistent plan of action. And that's exactly why today, we're talking about the power of discipline. Motivation tells us why we should do something. Discipline shows us how to actually do it. So here's the real question: which one will you choose to reach your dreams? If you're ready, let's dive in. Motivation is emotional. Motivation strikes like a sudden wave of inspiration, temporarily propelling us into action. For example, watching an inspiring success story in the morning might fire you up so much that you immediately rush to your desk and start working. But this emotional surge is fleeting, much like how sugar spikes your blood glucose only to crash soon after. Scientifically, motivation is linked to dopamine, the feel-good chemical that gives us a temporary high but quickly fades. This is why diets started with enthusiasm often fail by the next day when someone offers cake at the office. Emotions are volatile. Today, you might feel unstoppable, while tomorrow, even getting out of bed feels impossible. Relying on motivation means your progress is at the mercy of your ever-changing moods. True achievement doesn't come from waiting to feel like it, but from committing to action regardless of how you feel. Remember, big successes happen not because you felt like working, but because you decided to keep going. Motivation is externally driven. Motivation often depends on external stimuli: a friend's promotion, a luxurious lifestyle you see on social media, or an inspiring podcast episode might push you to act. But this means your drive is tied to someone else's life. For instance, thinking, "If they can do it, so can I," means you're borrowing someone else's spark instead of igniting your own. What if you hadn't seen that person's success? Would you still take action? Real change starts when you stop waiting for others to say, "You can do it," and start telling yourself, "I will do it." Motivation is fragile. Motivation is like a glass sculpture. The slightest pressure can break it. For example, if you're motivated to lose weight, but have a stressful meeting at work, you might reward yourself with fast food by evening. Why? Because motivation crumbles under resistance. Life is never a smooth ride. Traffic, illnesses, financial stress, or criticism can wipe out your motivation in seconds. Discipline, however, treats obstacles as part of the process. Once you realize how fragile motivation is, you stop relying on it and instead build systems. Remember, ships that sail through storms aren't powered by the wind alone, but by a steady rudder. Your rudder is discipline. We have examined the subject of motivation in more detail. I hope I have explained it clearly enough. Now, let's examine the subject of discipline in more detail. Discipline is a choice. Discipline is a conscious decision that transcends fleeting emotions. When your alarm rings at dawn, choosing to get up instead of hitting snooze is a victory over your momentary feelings. Harvard research reveals that the most successful students aren't those with highest IQs, but those with consistent study habits. Disciplined people don't let emotions dictate their actions. Take Joanne Kathleen Rowling. She wrote Harry Potter through personal depression because discipline isn't about feeling perfect. It's about doing what matters even when you feel terrible. Like muscles aching during a workout, discipline causes initial discomfort in your mental muscle, but each repetition strengthens it. True discipline means acting on your values, not your whims. Discipline comes from within. This is the ability to act without waiting for applause, rewards, or recognition. Michelangelo spent 4 painful years painting the Sistine Chapel ceiling, driven solely by his artistic passion. Neuroscience shows disciplined people have more active prefrontal cortexes. They prioritize serotonin's lasting satisfaction over dopamine's temporary highs. Consider runners. The first weeks are brutal, but soon the body craves the natural high. Discipline's internal nature shields you from life's turbulence. No likes on social media, no praise from your boss. No matter, you keep going because you know your worth. Discipline is like a muscle. The famous marshmallow test proved willpower can be trained. Small rituals, waking at the same time daily. Sunday reading sessions physically reshape your brain's neural pathways. Stanford research found disciplined people don't have more willpower. They've built better systems. Stephen King writes 2,000 words daily, rain or shine. The secret? Start microscopic. 5-minute meditations, 1 page of reading. Each small win rewires your brain with, I can do this, confidence. Like sore muscles signaling growth, initial discomfort means you're getting stronger. Discipline equals freedom. Contrary to stereotypes, discipline isn't restrictive, it's liberating. Jazz legend Miles Davis practiced 8 hours daily, not to constrain himself, but to master improvisation. When you take control through discipline, you break free from chaos. External circumstances lose their power over you. That's true freedom. Now I will give you an example from real life. Let's consider 2 people who want to get in shape. The first one thinks, I'll go to the gym when I feel like it. What happens? When the weather is bad, when they're tired from work, or simply not in the mood, they skip the workout. In the end, they only make it to the gym 1 to 2 times a month. The second person takes a completely different approach. They set a clear rule. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. I will be at the gym. Rainy weather doesn't matter. Tired from work? Irrelevant. Feeling unmotivated? Not an excuse. They simply keep their commitment. After 1 year, whose body do you think will have transformed more? Now, I can almost hear you asking, does being disciplined mean living like a boring robot? Absolutely not. On the contrary, discipline is a superpower that actually gives you freedom. How? Because discipline allows you to take action regardless of your mood or external circumstances. This makes you a stronger, more independent, and ultimately happier person. The truth is, discipline isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. It's what allows you to be who you want to be, instead of being held captive by your temporary emotions and excuses. That's true freedom. If you are currently watching this video up to this minute, chances are you're ready to make a real change in your life. Maybe it's that goal you've been putting off for years, that project you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, or that voice inside you that just won't quit saying, it's time to take action. So why haven't you started yet? The answer is simple. Motivation without discipline is like a firework. It flares up, fades away, and leaves nothing but darkness behind. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I feel motivated? And how often did that motivation actually come? That's right, almost never. Because here's the truth, motivation doesn't lead to action. Action creates motivation. You've probably said, I'll start Monday, new month, new me, or after this one thing is done, more times than you can count. But how many Mondays have come and gone? How many new months have passed while you stayed exactly where you were? If you truly want something, you need to stop making excuses and start taking action. Yes, waking up early is hard. Going to the gym, reading books, eating healthy, starting that project, they all require effort. But remember this, 10 years from now, when you look back at today, will you be saying, I wish I'd been lazier, or I wish I'd taken that first step? Discipline is what lets you say, I don't feel like it, and then do it anyway. As Jim Rohn said, either you suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The choice is yours. You just took the first step by watching this video today. But here's the truth, real change only happens when you take what you learn and actually apply it. Discipline isn't some punishment you have to endure. It's the key that unlocks your future freedom. Here's what I need you to do right now. Choose just one discipline habit you'll commit to this week. Just one. Write it down where you'll see it every single day on your mirror, as your phone wallpaper, stuck to your fridge. In our next video, we're going deep on exactly how to build unshakable discipline. Make sure you don't miss it. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you get every new video. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them right now. Remember this, every expert was once a beginner. The only difference? They started. Now it's your turn. I can feel that power inside you waiting to break free. Go ahead and comment, I own my days, to make it official. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, make every single day count.